us to all just come together on this trip and reset the tone and the mood. And I want to reset this energy with Shamia and Drew.
This is where it goes left.
No, it's going to go right.
And then to the left.
Whatever the situation is, I think you're both bigger and better than that.
Honestly, yeah, like if you do have an issue with me, I would like to clear the air.
Well, I did attempt to clear the air at Britt's event, and you said 10 toes down on calling me a lapdog. Then you posted that we have this imaginary beef. If you call me a lapdog, girl, we got beef.
Do you remember that you took back information that was incorrect? And that is why I called you a lapdog.
A lapdog would have invited you to my session.
But at your session, you took back information after
that.
That was wrong.
At that studio, you definitely said that you could pay for Polaris collars.
These royalties and the way this publishing is set up, that's gonna pay for PJ's whole college. We're back here.
What y'all say behind each other's back, you damn right, I run it back. Because I don't like the fake friendships. I'm not with the, I ain't messing with you, but then I'm gonna go talk about it on social media. Run tell me that. I'm right here.
Okay, let Drew speak.
Go ahead.
I hit dog on holler because...
You see what I'm saying? This is why we can't move forward. I'm not talking to nobody that's gonna call me a dog. Okay, kiss my ass.
The energy is so turned up.
Do you really mean to call her a dog?
Well, she was at the table barking. She's crazy.
Kiss my mother ass, bitch.
Drew, they is coming for you, boo. And no shade, they is making this season all about you. Now let's get into it. Welcome on over to my channel where we do reviews and discuss all of the Real Housewives shows, every franchise, every city. Yes, honey. Okay? But today we're going to be reviewing and discussing Real Housewives of Atlanta. The only Housewives that's actually on right now, actually. And sorry, I'm a little behind, but we're doing episode 13 right now because I have been under the weather. I'm coming over a stomach virus. And I wasn't able to film last week, so please bear with me. But you guys will get that double recap. You will have 2 recaps this week, okay? Now, before we get into it, please make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and please subscribe to the channel. Let's go, guys. Come on. All right, so we start this episode off at Sterling Hall. We see Shamia. She's with her daughter, Shia, and they have boxes of things that they're going to be donating to Grenada because they are coming over a hurricane, and since they're traveling there, the ladies have decided that they want to, help with some relief. So she has the ladies all sending her things that they're going to be sending as well, and we see that the ladies are all sending things. She tells us also that she's always been, very philanthropic. She's always been that type of person to give back to the community or to pay it forward. So she tells about a story one time where she was driving with her husband Gerald, and she stopped underneath a bridge or something where I guess homeless people were or whatever, and she had made a meal for them or whatever, and she had started serving food and whatnot, and Gerald was like, "What are you doing? Get back in the car." But she said that she's just always been that type of person. So she's, going through the boxes. She has a lot of things she's donating, and I guess a lot of the things that the other ladies have sent as well. So now we see Kelly. She arrives, and she's bringing a whole bunch of water, bottled waters, and we see that pretty much all the ladies are all chipping in and giving what they have. Britt arrives now, and she arrives with one bag, and Shamia's like, is this it? And she basically pulled it out, and it was toilet paper or something like that. And Shamia was basically, it was just the gifts, bare and naked. So, Britt claims that she got such short notice, and she was trying to get things together, but she got some more stuff coming. And Shamia was like, well, they coming to pick up the stuff today, so, can we get a move on that? Capiche, let's go, okay? So, do I think Britt is going to bring more stuff? I don't think so, because it looks like in the next episode, they getting on her about her donations. So, basically, they start to talk, and Britt, she's complaining about her event planner because she's embarrassed because her event was trash, it was tacky, she didn't feed her guests, and it was just a mess. So she's blaming it on the event planner. Mind you, the event planner already done spoke out online and said that she wasn't responsible for none of that, all right? So actually it was a designer, I think, and a planner. I'm not sure, but Anyway, Britt, whatever. You trying to save face. She got a lot going on right now because we already heard she ain't show up to the reunion. Child, it's just a mess for her. So anyway now, so they asked Shamia how she feels about Drew since, her and Drew had got into that little thing at the last incident. Was that at, whose event was that her and Drew got into it at? Child, I done forgot who was having that event. It was at Britt's event, actually. That's when Britt told them, y'all gonna have to take it outside. But yeah, so they asked her how she feels about it. And Shamia, she's like, she feels like Drew is like acting like she don't know they got beef, and she called her a lapdog, and she like, how do I respond to that? When you gonna tell me, you call me a lapdog and then you stand 10 toes down on that, like, what do I do with that? I don't have time for that. So Kelly, she just a little concerned about the vibes of the ladies, and she just wants a reset, a renew, and a rebirth. So that is going to be the theme for this trip. Reset, renew, and rebirth. Let's see how it goes, child. Okay? So now, they asked Shamia about her sit down that she had with Portia, because remember, her and Portia had to sit down last episode. So she fills them in on how it went. It went good. She said they both ended up in tears, and she's hopeful that they're headed on the right path. Now, we go over to the next scene, and it's a coffee shop, and we see Portia is coming there to meet up with somebody, and we eventually find out she's coming to meet up with Drew, because she tells the lady she's there to meet a friend. But she obviously didn't recognize Drew from behind, because Drew had on, like, this blonde wig with a bang. And Portia was like, that's not Go Naked here. So the person behind the camera in the confessional was like, well, she said it was. And we see a screenshot of one of Drew's, when she posted the hair, and she tagged Go Naked on it, or whatever. So Portia was like, it's a mixture. It was giving mixture, though. No shade, Drew. It didn't look like it was cheap tacky hair, but it definitely looked a little frizzy with it, okay? I think Portia was on to something there. But honestly, I'm going to keep it real. 613 hair always does that. Blonde hair gets real frizzy. Even when you dye your real hair, it's going to always be more damage, Anyway, so she meets up with her, so they sit down and they order some tea. So Portia orders some ginger and turmeric tea that the lady told her about, that the worker told her about. So Drew was like, oh yeah, I want one of those too. That sounds good. I need that for my throat, because I got some shows coming up or whatever. So now she tells Portia that she signed her deal with Dennis, and it's about high time that they sit down and they talk. So Portia in her confessional, she's like, she knows about the deal, and out of her issues right now, and that's like number 10 on the list, that's not even high on her list, she don't care, she's over it. She want to address the whole rumor thing. So now the lady comes and brings the tea to Portia, the ginger and turmeric tea that she had promoted so heavily, that Drew wanted some too, and tells Drew that they ran out of the ginger for the tea. So Drew was like, oh no, so she offers Drew the black tea, and Drew was like, I needed that ginger and turmeric for my throat right now. I'm a little hoarse. So the lady was like, she told the lady, make something for me. I'm easy. Just hook me something up. So the lady was like, all right, I got you. So they get to talking now. So they discussed the rumor about basically Portia saying how, Portia was basically saying how Drew should have just admitted that, and she wasn't sleeping with Dennis, and how she was sleeping with Black, the other guy, the other producer or whatever, that's a part of the team. So Drew was like, what, you mean my friend? No, I don't mess with him. She's denying it. And Portia is insistent that, yeah. Portia is pretty much telling her, yeah, you do mess with Black. And I'm like, Portia, like, you got a webcam on her pussy or something? Like, what's going on? So yeah, so she's insisting Drew and telling Drew that she's dating this guy Black, and Drew was denying it. So they show a screenshot, a picture of Drew in between Dennis and the guy Black, but they got the guy Black's face blacked out in the picture, but you see him from the neck down, and he had on like a silk shirt, like dress shirt. opened up, like, I guess showing his chest. It was like opened up halfway with a chain on and some tight jeans on, and they was all standing there hugging. And no shade, when I looked at the picture, it was giving cunt to me. Black was giving, like, in the picture, like, he was like, hand on the hip, like, it was giving cunt down. I was like, you ain't messing with him. So now, basically, Portia is insistent that Drew is messing with this guy. So Drew points out that she's like, this discussion was about me filming with Dennis, but you filmed with Ralph. And Portia is insistent that that wasn't her idea. She ain't know about that. She had nothing to do with that. Anyway, so Drew was just like, pretty much like, you mad about something that you're doing. So now, now the lady comes back out and to bring her some tea. The lady was, I guess, didn't want to come back and tell Drew that she couldn't find the ginger. So she sent another worker out with the black tea. So Drew was like, I told her, So Portia on confessional was like, waitress, please give her tea. That is her order, girl, because that is your energy. That black tea is definitely for you, Drew. Basically trying to say Drew's energy. So basically they start going back and forth. Drew accuses Portia of sleeping with Future. And Portia was like, no, I'm not. So Drew was like, but you see how, shit in the streets. So I don't think Drew meant it, was like seriously accusing her of sleeping with Future. I think Drew was basically just saying something reckless. Just because somebody said something, don't make it a thing. So they was going back and forth. They wasn't letting each other get a word in. Otherwise, Drew was telling her, Portia, you going through a divorce. Your issue is pretty much non-existent. You really don't have an issue. It's not real. So Portia didn't want to hear that. Portia, as always, can't really take accountability or the truth. So when you start to come at Portia with some truth and with an energy where you're not backing down, Portia's going to excuse herself and head for the hills. That's what Portia gives. Either that or she's going to start swinging. One or the other. Okay? So basically Portia gets up and she leaves, and as she's leaving, Drew was like, oh, you can't take the truth, huh? And she was like, I guess that's why Simon left you, and that's why Shamia wanna leave. So I'm just like a mess. So next we see a little mashup of the girls packing. We see Britt, she's packing with her dog Mimosa. And Mimosa, just like my dogs, you could always tell when your parent is leaving because the Mimosa's following her around like, what are you taking all this stuff? What are you packing? So Shamia, we see her packing. Her mom comes and gives her a Bible like, don't forget your Bible, girl. I'm like, So we see Angela, she's with her daughter Amari at one of her rental parties. One of her rental properties, and she's still over the fact that she's not selling none of her properties. Give us some time, Angela. I'm putting out hope for you. I hope at the reunion that you have an announcement that you have sold even more than one of your properties. Let's hope for Angela, y'all. Let's hope for Angela. All right, so now we go over to Kelly's house, and she's with her daughters, and she's letting them know she's preparing to go on a trip to Grenada. They're like, what's Grenada? What's there? And she's like, look it up on Google, y'all. So they talking, so she lets them know that she's going to miss their first day of school because she's going to be, I guess, coming back from Grenada that next day or traveling back. That's going to be her last day in Grenada. So she's going to miss their first day of school. And she's going to have her brother do it. She's going to ask her brother Lamont to do it. And the girls, one of the daughters was like, they're going to wonder if he our father or they're going to wonder if he our father or brother. She was like, but it don't really matter because it ain't none of their business anyway. I was like, look at these girls. There's a mess. And so now she goes out to the kitchen to talk to her brother Lamont, who was there with her friend Erica. I don't know if it's Erica or Erica because it's spelled A-R-R-I-C-A. So they're in the kitchen popping champagne, making a mess. So she comes in and she's giving her brother, tells him about, she need him to take the kids to school for that first day. And she's giving him directions basically because she has 4 daughters. Remind you, she has 4 daughters. The older one, I forgot the older one name that quick. Chloe. The older one, Chloe. Then she got the twins and the other one. So basically, she's letting him know that they all go to different schools. So it's 4 daughters, but he has to take them to 3 different schools. So she's letting them know the directions. Like, you have to drop these ones off first, then this one, then that one, at this time, that time. And the brother is looking like, how long you said you're going to be going for, girl? Because I don't know about this. So then we get to a serious note, because now the brother reveals to her how he reached out to Mark, her ex-husband. So mind you, like, her and Mark are having a very tumultuous, very bad divorce, very nasty divorce. So, you know, Mark was like, even though things have been nasty or whatever and not good with y'all, I figured, you know, let me at least try to reach out, because me and him at least at one point had a good relationship. So Kelly believes that in her heart that he did it to try to fix things and to help. And I believe so too. He probably was trying to reach out, because at the end of the day, that's his niece's father. So basically, and he see his sister struggling on her own as a single parent, and he feel like maybe I should, you know, talk to the father and see if I can at least get him to come to the table. So basically, he reveals that as he was talking to Mark was pretty much very rebellious and negative and not wanting to make anything right. It was like, no, I don't want to fix things. No, I don't want to make up with this bitch. No, I don't care about co-parenting. I don't care. No, I don't want to make things right, even if it means I can see my daughters. I'm going to be that petty to her, because I hate her so much that I'm willing to give up my daughters to make this bitch mad. So when he told Kelly this, you can tell that it definitely rattled her. It broke her heart, because I saw it. You can see it on her. Like, I saw it. That wasn't acting. She really felt that. And I could tell she was keeping herself from crying. She didn't want to cry. But you can tell her son, they was all here. Them tears was all up in there. Because she was looking like, wow. Like, basically, like, how do you get to take a break from being a parent? Like, I don't get to do that. Like, you hate me that much? Like, and she said it like, you don't have to do right by me, but you have to do right by them girls, your daughters. And I felt that, Kelly, and my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry you're going through all of this. That's so sad. But I really felt her in this moment. So now, finally, we arrive. We're at the Atlanta airport, and the ladies are arriving to get ready to board the flight for Grenada. So when they get there, why was Phaedra come up to Angela? Talk about some. Angela is the oldest looking young lady I ever met. Phaedra, why is you coming for Angela? No shade, but Angela looks better on her first season than you looked on your first season, honey. Because back then, ooh, woo. Do we want to talk about that, Miss Faye? Okay? Because you had a lot of work done, honey. Okay? So let's not do that. I don't know why the girls keep coming for Angela saying she looks so old. I don't think she looks that old. I don't. I think she does look maybe older. She may look older than 43, but hey, I'm older than 43 and I look good too. But anyway, yeah, so I just was like, that threw me off with Phaedra. Like, Phaedra, if this is how you come in this season, we could have left you in the trash can. We could have left you in the graveyard, honey, because this ain't how you come back. Not coming for a fan favorite like that, okay? So Angela was smart, though. She decided to wear braids. She said, I got some braids, so I don't have to worry about my wig lifting. Why they had to show the flashback of when Charles was telling her, babe, you need to go check that out, because your shit, like, sliding back. Charles, I'm gonna kill you. But yeah, so yeah, she's smart, because I'm not gonna front. When I go on vacation, if I am gonna do, I'm not gonna really do a wig. I'm gonna do braids, and if I don't do braids, I'm gonna do like a weave, a sewing weave, and I want like exactly what Kelly had. Kelly, I love this hair. That was vacation hair, like a nice wet and wavy look, a wavy where hers didn't look so wet as it looked wavy. But if I go on a vacation and I wear a weave, like a sewing, I want it to be like a wet and wavy, or a wavy look, you know, something. When I go on vacation, I'm going to get wet. So I want to wear hair that I can get wet without having to worry about it. So that's why I want to do braids or something like that, you know. So Angela, smart girl, you ain't got to worry about that wig lifting, because Grenada is hot. It's an island, I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's hot, okay? Aren't all islands hot? So now they finally arrived to Grenada. And Shamia, to her dismay, finds out that her bags never made it to Grenada. They're still in Atlanta, honey. And she even said it that when she was telling the lady that was checking the bags something, the lady was like, I got it. You got it, miss, but obviously you don't have it. Yeah, how you getting smart and then mess up still? Excuse me, like, where's the customer service? Whatever happened to, hi, my name is... Like, come on, girl. Don't do that. Don't do her like that. Anyway, so now they on their way to the airport. On their way to their lodgings, and they're in different cars. And Phaedra happens to be in the same car with Drew. And she's shading Drew, too. She's talking about she don't really know much about Drew. She knows she's a child actress. She knows she did a lot of black movies. And was she on Soul Training? Like, why are you coming for? It's like you trying to... It's like she was really trying to belittle her career. What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, when you she was trying to downplay her career, like, basically saying that she only known for being in, like, black movies. Like, girl, Drew Sidora is a bigger star than you, Phaedra Parks. Park it, Miss Parks, because you doing too much now. Okay? You should have came back humble. You coming back, I'm not seeing it. And them ratings ain't seeing it either, honey. They seem to have dropped since you came back. So it seems like you turned fans away. No shade. So anyway, so Phaedra's asking Drew, like, why she, like, it seemed like she into it with everybody or whatever. And Drew was just like, no, I just be minding my business. So Drew tells Phaedra about Shamia doing a radio interview and shading her with the whole 5 different languages song. And yeah, it's like, why? So now the ladies finally arrived to the lodgings where they're going to be staying at. And they arrived to some men in stilts, some black Grenadian men. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But they was dancing in the stilts, like, and welcoming the ladies. And the ladies was dancing with them, turning up with them. And the trip is about to begin. So now they about to go in. And they're going to play a game to get the room assignment. So they go in to do the room assignments. And we find out that the rooms are going to be, the 2 hosts are going to be rooming together, Shamia and Kelly. They have the master suite or master lodge or whatever you want to call it. And then they decided that they were going to team them up based on trying to get, girls to get to know each other and not have, like, the usual suspects room together that would normally room together. So they decided they're going to have Britt and Phaedra rooming together. They're excited about that. Britt is excited to be rooming with Phaedra, and Phaedra's like, I like new people, and Britt look like she's fine, okay? So now we find out Angela and Portia are gonna be rooming together, and Angela's like, I have no problem rooming with Portia, Charles is home safe, so we can have some fun. Charles is safe at home, okay? So then we find out Cynthia and Drew are going to be roommates. And Drew was like, give me Drew, honey. Give me Drew. Okay, I don't have no problem with her. So now they have to take shots to reveal their rooms. And when they take their shots, at the bottom of their cups is going to be a number. And the girls are going to find out that number is going to correspond with their room. So they do that and they take their shots and reveal their rooms. And Cynthia and Drew find out that the room they're going to be sharing has a king size bed, but then also it's a twin bed in the other suite. So they like, so they decide to arm wrestle to see who's going to get the king bed. And Drew won the arm wrestling contest. And Kelly in her confessional was like, dang, Drew, what you thought she was arm wrestling your husband? She took her down. So Shamia lets the girls know that they have 30 minutes to be ready for dinner. So the girls is like, wait a minute, we got 30 minutes to go get, like, freshen up and get dressed? And we're ready. And she like, yeah, girl, when you ain't got no other clothes like me, you can do that. And Portia like, that's why, okay. So I like this here on you, Kelly. Did I say that? Definitely. But anyway, so we see Phaedra and Britt, they on their way to their room, and they like, we ain't got to wrestle for no beds, we ain't doing all that. And we see Shamia and Kelly in their room, and Shamia is telling Kelly about how Drew tagged her in a post, talk about I hate when people come up with imaginary beef. referring to Shamia's interview on the radio. So Shamia feels a way about that, and she decides that Drew's new nickname is going to be Drew Nokia. Shamia, sorry, it's a foul. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay? You and Portia keep trying to make fetch happen. So now we see Drew and Cynthia in their room, and they check out their room, and Drew decided to give Cynthia her king size bed because I guess she don't want to give the queen, the OG, she don't want to give auntie a king size bed. Cynthia is mother, okay? Mother, okay? Have some respect for your elders. Give that woman that king size bed. Don't put that, she's a grown ass woman. She ain't sleeping in no twin size bed, honey. All right? So they get to talking now. And Cynthia is letting us know about her new love interest from Amsterdam. His nickname for now is Amsterdam because he's from Amsterdam. So basically, she's excited. She's feeling him. She says he's tall. He got long dreads. He's younger than her, which means basically he's always ready to go, honey. Okay? She said he be wearing her out. And she's loving it. And I'm loving that for you, Cynthia. Enjoy, honey. Enjoy. You deserve it, girl. All right, so she asks Drew now, like, is she dating? And Drew's like, no, she's still saying she's dating or whatever. And Cynthia like, you don't got no friends with benefits or nothing? And Drew like, nah, I can't right now because it's complicated. I'm going through this divorce or whatever, this nasty divorce, and he's real petty, so I can't, like, that wouldn't be a benefit for me right now. And I get it. Even if you are messing with somebody, Drew, you would be dumb enough to come on TV and say that. That's why I'm kind of mad that Portia keeps going with this rumor that you're messing with somebody. It's like she's messing with your divorce. You're going through a divorce. Like, why are you messing with my divorce? Like, stop trying to put my stuff out there on TV when I'm going through a divorce from a nigga that's mad petty and trying to wash me clean, take me to the cleaners. Sorry, I needed some water, y'all. Yeah, I've been keeping hydrated with the stomach virus, honey, because it's been having me down. I'm still not even eating solid foods. I've been eating strictly broth. And yesterday, my mother made me some yellow rice. She sent me some yellow rice and some string beans. And I started to eat it, and I was eating it and enjoying it until I decided to add salt and pepper to it. I don't know why I did that, because that just messed the whole thing up. But yeah, so yeah, I just been eating broth, and I did buy some fruit today. I went and bought some fruit. We're going to see how that goes. I haven't tried to eat it yet, though, but I'm going to try to eat it later. But anyway, back to this recap, okay? Because we late. Let's keep it going. So now, where we at now? Sorry, I got like lost in my notes. So now Drew tells Cynthia about how she met up with Portia, and it didn't go well. How basically they didn't really get to talk because Portia walked out. And then she also let Cynthia know that she feels a way about Portia recording with Ralph. And Cynthia kind of feels like, hey, Drew, you filmed with Dennis and Portia ain't like it. Now Portia filmed with Ralph and you ain't like it. So let's just say we even now. Pretty much that's how Cynthia feels. So now we see Shamia. She's FaceTiming Gerald, telling him about her luggage situation or whatever. And he's like, don't worry, baby. They said they're going to get it to you by, like, within the next 24 hours or whatever. So then we see Britt. Her and Phaedra in their room. And Britt is telling Phaedra about some man that's in another, I guess, suite somewhere. And she can see he's in a window and he's in the window naked. So Phaedra trying to go out there and see, like, girl, let me see, all right? I'm like, yeah, I want to see too. So now Shamia, we find out Shamia actually bought a couple of outfits in her carry-on because she came in with a different outfit as the ladies was coming out to, for dinner. So they arrive and they're all about to go to dinner. And they get in the car. So in car one, we have Shamia, Kelly, Phaedra, and Cynthia. And Phaedra's talking about her funeral business and stuff. She's texting a friend and the guy who taught her how to embalm. And she basically telling her about her funeral business. In car two, we got Portia, Angela, Drew, and Britt. And it's real quiet. It's like, well, we see Drew and Britt are in the back talking, obviously. But Portia was like, I don't mind. Portia had made up her mind. She was going to keep it quiet, real quiet in the car with Drew. So That's what it was given. 2 different vibes in the cars. So now the ladies finally arrived to dinner, and Angela announces that it's her and Charles' 8th anniversary. And Portia in her confessional was like, girl, you on vacation with a bunch of divorcees? Girl, you crazy. Especially like divorces like you, honey. All right. So now Britt and Phaedra is telling the girls about the naked man in the window. And Phaedra was letting them know she was trying to see what he was working with or whatever, you know. And I don't know how we got, and somebody said, well, maybe he was a masseuse. And that's how the topic of happy endings came up. And Kelly reveals that she had a happy ending, and the ladies are like gagging, like, for real? So she's real secretive about it, like, you know, don't ask no questions. So now the ladies, they get served lemon drops. And I missed that until I was actually replaying it to do my little recording at the beginning of this video of my favorite part that I always do at the beginning of my reviews. And I was like, wait a minute, she offered them a lemon drop. I didn't even catch that. So I had to go back and add that. So now Kelly just makes an announcement that she wants to reset the energy. And she wants to start by having Shamea and Drew reset the energy between them, which sets the scene for this. So now they get to talk, and Drew was like, you know, I want to talk or whatever. I'm okay. I don't mind talking and having a conversation so that we can clear the air. So Shamea still feels a way about the lapdog comment. Drew feels a way about Shamea running back and like distorting the comment about paying for Pilar's college. And like basically like taking her intentions and in a misleading way, bringing it back in a misleading way. So basically, they're going back and forth about how they feel about one another. The radio interview comes up, I guess, and then actually, the day when they went to I think this was episode 2, when they met Shamea in the studio. And then, yeah, they met Shamea in the studio, and that's when that whole thing came up with the whole college, you know, when she made the comment. And she feels like Shamea ran back like a little lapdog to go, you know, tell Portia something to gain favor with her. So Shamea is like, you know, how you gonna stand 10 toes down on calling me a lapdog? So basically, they want Drew to talk, and Drew basically, he says, like, you know, a hit dog is gonna holler. And honey, that set Shamea off. Shamea doesn't like being called a hit dog. And she's like, she's still calling me a dog. So even Phaedra was like, did you mean to call her a dog? And Drew was like, well, I mean, she was at the table barking. And they played the flashback of Shamea barking at the table at Britt's event. So yeah, So now Portia decides to pipe in, and honestly, I don't even really know what Portia was talking about, but anyway. So Angela pipes in, and she was like, you know, Shamea, I understand whatever you're trying to fix things with your friend, but at the same time, when we was having a conversation and you running stuff back, like, you know, you telling us stuff, it ain't like we coming to you asking you stuff. You basically just letting off your, you know, grievances to us. And you going back and making it seem like we talking about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So Portia wants to know why everyone is so concerned about their friendship. And Angela's like, we're not concerned about your friendship. It's on display, honey. It's on display. She coming to us, you know, with her grievances. We not coming to her asking what your grievances are. So Kelly asks Portia, well, now now that they had a talk, how does she feel about, I guess, the status of her friendship with Shamea? And Portia pretty much shut it down and was like, look, me and Shamea already talked about that. We good. And shut it down. So Kelly was like, well, if y'all passed it, then we can all get past that. Basically, mostly referring to Drew. And Drew just looking like, whatever. So now Kelly decides that she wants to single Drew out, and because she feels like Drew has a problem with everyone at the table except for Cynthia. And I was like, huh? Wait a minute. Drew don't got a problem with Angela. She don't got a problem with Phaedra. What you mean everybody? Like, don't say everybody, honey. Let's say the specific names, all right? Don't say everybody, because it ain't everybody. I don't like when people say everybody, especially if I'm sitting at the table. Because I definitely been like, don't say everybody, because I ain't never tell you nothing like that. Don't say everybody, because everybody means everybody at this table. I'm not a part of that. So that's not everybody. Okay? I have a sibling like that include you in something. All you had to do was be there. Not in your head was a co-assignment from her, okay? So now, Portia admits that when she approached Drew at Shamir's party, which is the first episode, when she came on strong at Drew, calling her a low down, filthy individual and all that, she said, that wasn't the best choice of words, and maybe she shouldn't have came with that energy. And Drew wanted to acknowledge that, I accept that because I've never heard this before. So I accept the fact that you're acknowledging that you came at me crazy. So Kelly was like, we are making some progress. So the ladies feel like, that this is good. This is good. So now Portia brings up Drew accusing her of sleeping with Future. And Drew like, well, you accused me of sleeping with Black, and that's a rumor. You can't be talking about what you heard on the streets. So now we come to find out that the source that told Portia all this was Dennis. Dennis, you being messy. Messy. Do we even know if Dennis saw her, that to be honest with you? Because the way Portia moves, honey, you can't believe a word she say either, okay? So now, Drew addresses her filming with Ralph, and she's like, you filmed with Ralph, and you was mad at me filming with Dennis, but you gonna go film with my husband. And she like, how would you like it if after you filmed with Ralph, people took from that, Portia sleeping with Ralph? Like, you wouldn't like that. So you got to see how I feel too. Like, that you're trying to make something innocent. We're doing business. We're doing innocent business here. And you're making this into a messy thing by making up rumors that I'm sleeping with your baby daddy when I'm only doing business with him. Stop it, Portia. Stop. I'm speaking for Drew, because this is how I wanted Drew to say it. But you know what? I do feel like Drew held her own, because all the ladies was coming for her this episode, and she was definitely in a hot seat, and she handled herself well. Okay? So, Kelly decides that Kelly has a crystal and tells the ladies that you have to be holding the crystal to speak. So, Drew takes the crystal first, and she pretty much apologizes to Portia. She says, yes, maybe she should have called her. Maybe she could have been better about communicating with Portia and understood where Portia was coming from first. It should have been a conversation. She acknowledges that. Everybody's happy. Yay, let's accept that. We made some progress. It's over. It's over. Please, let's bury this. I don't want to hear about this no more. I don't want to hear no more made-up rumors coming from Portia and Dennis. Please, let's just bury this, okay? So now Britt decides that she wants to take the crystal because she has something she wants to say. Everybody, stop it. Hold your horses, everybody. Britt has an announcement. The announcement is she wants to apologize to Phaedra because Apollo and Shireen were invited to her event and she didn't mean no messiness by this. And everybody's like, Like, even Phaedra was like, girl, I don't know why she told me something about Apollo. Apollo's a whole married man. Like, girl, you don't need to apologize to me. And even Shamia was like, girl, like, this is what you wanted the crystal for? So they over her. So you can see next episode, honey. That was the end of the episode, by the way. But you can see next episode, they're going to come for Britt next. At the next dinner. The Britt is going to be the next one to take a beating at the dinner table. Is it the same dinner? I don't think so, because it looked like next week she had like a cute little hood over her head. Like she had this look. And I don't think that's the look she had tonight. I'm not sure. But they were at a dinner, but you can see they coming at her for her lack of philanthropic aptitude. Look at me trying to sound all smart. But yeah, the ladies is coming at her for not, I guess, assisting so much in the relief attempts for Grenada. Anyway, guys, that was the end of the show. I did watch the after show. There was no Watch What Happens Live this episode. Because Watch What Happens Live was off for like a week. But I did watch the episode after show. And on the after show, Cynthia talked more about her Amsterdam friend. And she lets Drew and Angela know how when she was with him, she started to self-sabotage because, you know, it happens when you meet a man who's loving on you and just making you feel like the queen that you are. You begin to start to doubt yourself and go, wait a minute, why are you being so nice to me? Like, because you're used to, like, you're not used to that. So it's like you're waiting for him to show his real face, to take off his mask. So she started to self-sabotage and she had to get a hold of that. You know, he's younger than her also, so, you know, it's a lot of competition out there. So we find out also that everyone else in the group has met him except for Drew and Portia. We know why Portia ain't meet him, girl. But we find out he actually met Charles at a Hawks game that I guess they went on a double date. And she also lets us know she got to watch him perform. She flew out to Switzerland to watch him perform out there. So this relationship is hot and steaming, and I'm here for it, Cynthia. Enjoy, girl. And she lets us know also that they're not on social media because she feels like that's not conducive to a good relationship. And I agree. If you want your relationship to be healthy and drama-free, keep it off social media, okay? Because the people are there to ruin and sabotage your relationship, all right? Then we also, Kelly tells Shamia more about the happy ending, and Shamia's asking her all these questions, like, is there a code word you gotta use? Like, and Kelly is pretty much like, when you go in there, you pretty much going to ask for that person, and they already know what time it is. Drew talks more about her and Portia sit down with Cynthia and Angela and lets them know how it didn't go good, and Portia was, like, confrontational and making up all these lies and stuff. Portia admits to Phaedra and Britt that she was more heavy on Drew than she was on Dennis. And she admits to that and she holds herself accountable for that. They're even now, pretty much. That's what Cynthia says. Y'all even now. You filmed with Dennis. She filmed with Ralph. Y'all even now. And Angela was like, girl, if all it took for y'all to film with Ralph, you could have been filming with Ralph. And that's, yeah. Drew was like, yeah, if I would have known that all that took to make things right was her to film with Ralph, honey, she could have came down to the basement. Like, girl, go down to the basement to film. All right. So now, also, Kelly tells Shamia about what Lamont told her about Mark, you know, basically not wanting to, you know, help out. And Shamia all talking and making it about, I'm like, Shamia, shut up. But anyway, this episode was a good episode. I did enjoy it because they was on I always love vacation episodes, I do. But on a scale from 1 to 5, I'm gonna say this episode was a 3. It was good. It was just average. It wasn't above average. It wasn't excellent. It was average. It was nice. It was cute. It was good. It was a good episode. It was solid. 3. It was a solid episode, okay? Anyway, be sure to join me for the next recap. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a double recap because today is Monday, June 9th that I'm recording this video. And I haven't watched last night's episode yet. So I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and just post this video today and then wait until tomorrow to post tomorrow's video. Or if I'm going to just wait till tomorrow and post them both as a double recap. I don't know what I'll do, but you guys will see it soon. But anyway, guys, thanks you for joining. And I will see you to discuss episode 14 on the second Nashville episode. Bye.